Yeah, good morning all. Today we are going to discuss about the how to perform the VI characteristics of silicon and germanium diodes. How to do the lab experiment in the laboratory. Today we are going to discuss this experiment, and we don't have in the laboratory germanium. Only we are concentrating on silicon here. So first we should know about the components. How many apparatus? What the apparatus we require for doing this experiment, particular experiment. So I am going to tell what the apparatus we are going to require for the first experiment, that is VI characteristics of silicon diode. So first we require the major equipment in the laboratory, that is regulator power supply we require. That is nothing but this one, RPS. Yesterday we discussed RPS, regulator power supply. Then next we require the voltmeter. The range of voltmeter should be 0 to 20 volts or 30 volts. So any one you can take here. So you can see in here 30 volts voltmeter, digital voltmeter we are taking here, 30 volts digital voltmeter. Then after that, coming to the ammeters, next part is ammeters. So ammeters we required here 0 to 200 milliamps. So 50 milliamps also we can take, no problem, but in our laboratory 0 to 200 milliammeters available here, so that we can take. The range, if it is exceeding 50 milliamps, no problem, no issues, but the range should be not in minimum. Okay, so that's why I'm going to take here 0 to 200 milliammeter here, digital ammeter I am taking. And next one is 0 to 200 microamps I am taking, next one. So this basically we are going to use in forward bias silicon diode in forward bias. While doing the silicon diode forward bias characteristic, there we are using this 0 to 50 milliamps, and in reverse bias I'm going to take is a 0 to 100 microamps here. So that is also we are having in the laboratory, that is 0 to 200 microamps range we are having here. So these two things we are having. So these are the three major equipments that we are going to take in the while considering the first experiment. Okay, then coming to the components, what the components we are going to take here. So first one is silicon diode. The code for silicon diode is nothing but 1N4007, 1N4007, and quantity is 1. How many diodes we required? Only one diode we required, and germanium diode we are not doing here in our laboratory. Then coming to the resistors, only one resistor we required, that is the range is 1 kilo ohm. That is range is 1 kilo ohm, and breadboard as usual, one breadboard we required here. Okay, so this is nothing but silicon diode, nothing but this one. You can observe this is the silicon diode. One side, if you observe, one silver coating will be there here. Lightly it is visible. Thing is visible here. Yeah, this right side, if you observe, small white coating is visible, silver coating is visible. So this is nothing but the negative part of the diode, nothing but cathode of the diode. Okay, so how we are going to identify the polarities of the diode, terminals of the diode means, if it is silver coating is there, that is negative, nothing but it is cathode. And if it is not there any silver coating, means that is anode, this side is anode. So while understanding the polarities of the diode is very important. Silver coating, which side is having silver coating, that side is nothing but cathode, and other side is the anode. This is important. And coming to the 1 kilo ohm resistors, you are having this resistor also here. If you observe the resistors, we are having color bands on the resistors here. So it is basically 1 kilo ohm resistor. So the resistor does not contain any polarities. Any way you can use, either right side or left side, any way you can use resistor. Okay, so let us start the experiment. How to perform the experiment by using these components, let us, I will explain step by step. Be concentrate on this. Then it is the same procedure, this is the same procedure for all the experiments. Okay, before we are going to start the experiment, first you need to connect the what the components we are required, that you need to take first one, right? So diode and resistor we are having, right or not? So this you can need to place on the breadboard. These two components you need to place on the breadboard. So I am going to place this on the breadboard. Keeps on observing here. Yeah, I'm placing these components on the breadboard, and by seeing the circuit diagram you need to place. So this is our circuit diagram, first circuit diagram, that is nothing but forward bias characteristics of silicon diode, this one. So how it is, the diode is connected, this is arrow mark side is the positive side, and negative side is line is the negative side. This indicates negative side, and this indicates positive, and this is 1 kilo ohm resistor. Okay, so same like here also, this left side is the anode, right side is the cathode, same like this. You need to place on the breadboard. So I am placing this component on the breadboard here, and I know that you are all aware of the breadboard connections, how we are having the breadboard connections, right, in top and bottom. So in breadboard connections we are having, these are all vertically shorted internally here, and both up and down part, and downside you are having horizontally shorted line. Okay, and this is a divider, there is no contact between this and this. And here in vertical horizontal part, 1 2 3 4 5 up to this mark, it is a divider again. There is no contact between this and this. Okay, one terminal if you place in this line, any one hole, means other holes you can make the use of this connection, other holes you can make the use of these connections here. Okay, so the next thing, this diode positive directly connected with this resistor here, right or not? So 1 kilo ohm resistor is directly connected with this diode positive. So I am placing that diode, so this is the positive of the diode, so it is having connection, so that's why I am placing in the same vertical part here. See, observe here, I am placing this resistor in the same vertical part, so same vertical line. If you place besides this, nothing but there is no contact. Besides the diode if you place, there is no connection. Only in the same line you need to place, means same vertical line you need to place. Why? Because you are having the connection here. So that's why I am placing in the same vertical line here. Then other terminal you can place somewhere else. Other terminal of the resistor you can place somewhere else. So this part is completed up to this part. Okay, the next job is, what you need to do means just connect the wires to all the equipment. What the equipment you required here in the circuit diagram, if you observe, one RPS, one channel is required, only one supply required. Then after that, one voltmeter required. Then after that, one milliammeter required, not micrometer. So you observe here, for forward bias we required milliammeter, for reverse bias I required micrometer here. Okay, so that's why I required only voltmeter, ammeter, regulator, power supply. These equipment are required. First you need to connect the connecting wires to this three equipment. So I am connecting. So while connecting the connecting wires to the equipment is very, very important. So you please keep this internal wires should be inside of the hole. We are having inside hole here also. You can observe here holes we are having. Okay, within the hole you need to place this wire, and you please do not keep this red sleeve also inside. Okay, whatever the sleeve we are having for the wire, right, this should not be goes inside the hole. If you place like this wire is not contact properly. Okay, this wire does not contact properly to this RPS, regulator power supply, and you will not get any readings. You will not get any readings. So that's what is your job means. Only wire should be inside. Okay, sleeve should be outside. Only you need to place the wire should be inside, sleeve should be outside. If you observe, this sleeve is outside you are getting. If you place the sleeve also inside, means you won't get any readings. Like this if you place, means you won't get any readings in the meters. Okay, meters and voltmeters, right? Then next thing, so your first job is you need to connect the wires to all the equipment. So three equipment we are having, that is RPS, regulator power supply, voltmeter. So voltmeter I am giving connection here. One hole will be there. So there you can place this one. And this voltmeter is also finished. And next ammeter. Yeah, first you need to do like this. So completion, before we are going to start the experiment, first you need to connect all the wires to all the equipment, right? So then next job, you just keep the breadboard in front of regulator power supply, in front of main equipment, right? Then observe the circuit diagram here. Forward bias I am doing here, circuit diagram. So you can always start the connection from regulator power supply positive side. other negative side also can put, no problem, no issues. But in like this, in circular copy, like in a loop wise, you can start the connection. Okay, always you need to start the connection from regulator power supply positive. Okay, that can positive or negative, no issues, but you need to start from here at this place. Okay, so which polarity we are having here? Positive. Positive is nothing but red one, phase. So phase, where it is going, circuit diagram. So where it is going, it will be going through the resistor front end. Okay, and back end is already connected to the diode positive here, so you need to concentrate on the front end. So this regulator power supply positive wire is going to the resistor front end. So this is the positive wire. If you observe here, resistor regulator power supply positive is going to the resistor front end, nothing but this one. So same vertical line you need to kept, otherwise here down, same vertical line. Okay, so same vertical line, it's over. Then next one, this resistor other end is going to the diode positive, it's already connected, starting only I connected this one. Then after that, diode negative is going to the ammeter positive. So just leave this part. Diode negative is going to the ammeter positive. So milliammeter, where you are having the positive here, this is a milliammeter positive, there you can observe, this is the red one. So this milliammeter positive is connected to the diode negative. So same vertical line I am placing, same vertical line. Okay, so this is about the diode negative here. Then finally what we are having, ammeter negative is connected to the RPS negative. Ammeter negative is connected to the RPS negative. This is ground connection. This is ground connection. So I am using this. So ammeter negative is nothing but this one, black one. So I am taking that wire and I am placing here in the horizontal part. Horizontal part. I am placing the ground connection in the horizontal part. And which one is connected here? Which one is connected here? Then RPS negative is connected. So same line, horizontal part, no? So horizontal part means horizontally connections are there. So that's why any one hole you can use here. Same line. So I am using here this connection, and you will get one question, why you are connecting here, sir, why not here in vertical part means. So there is no big issue here, there is no big problem here, also you can connect. But the thing is, we can easily, and two things are there. One is that it is a small circuit, so that's why only two connections we are having. So you can use here vertical part. Totally how many connections are available in the vertical part? 5 connections are there, 1 2 3 4 5, right or not? So if you use the horizontal part, we can make the use of 25 connections, 5 5 5 5 5, total 25 connections we are having, right? So this is one big advantage. So this is a small circuit diagram, so that's why you are having only two connections we are having. If you go for transistor characteristics, C amplifiers, there you are having 6 or 7 connections we are having. So we are not going to use this vertical part at that moment. So we can use this horizontal part. That is one problem there, but there is one solution. The next solution is that, so you can easily understand which is ground connection, right? If you connect this ground connection horizontal part, we can easily understand that it is a ground connection. So always you need to give the ground connection in horizontal section. Why? Because means in order to understand easily, it is a ground connection in order to represent. Clear? So this is the thing. The next one, last connection is nothing but voltmeter positive and negative. So it is connected parallelly to this diode, means across connected, means positive to positive, negative to negative connected, this voltmeter. So I am also placing the same way. So diode negative, so positive is this one, so same vertical line I am placing. And next, one is diode negative is connected to the negative of the diode. Clear? So now this total connection is completed. So very simple. So nothing is there. First you need to connect the outer loop. Then after that, this inner loop we are having, that is voltmeter is connected across to this diode. So like this you need to give the connection. It's very simple. Once if you understand this connection is very simple, so they no need to worry about this connection. Okay, then before we are going to start the experiment, first you need to just yesterday only I said, so whenever you are dealing with the regulator power supply, these two knobs should be in minimum position, this knob should be in maximum. So only one channel I am using, that is left side channel. So I kept these volts in left side. And why I said yesterday why it is minimum position means, if it is in maximum, suppose you forgot. If it is in maximum mode, nothing but how much voltage I am having for regulated power supply maximum mode, 30 volts I am having, 30 volts, right? We cannot give 30 volts to the diode. We cannot give 30 volts direct to the diode. So if it is in maximum, what will happen? The diode will be gets damaged. This diode will be gets damaged. So that's why in order to overcome such kind of problems, such kind of damageness, so that's why what you need to do before you are going to start the experiment, first you need to keep these two knobs should be in minimum, both voltage course and voltage fine. Then after that you need to, now the connection is over, you need to start the experiment. Yeah, let us start doing the experiment. So what you need to do, first minimize these two knobs should be minimum position, and this one is maximum position. Okay, so then switch on the segregated power supply. So then you will get 0 0. So in forward bias characteristics, supply voltage you need to vary from 0.1 to, in terms of you can start from 0 0. Okay, 0 0.1 supply voltage, 0.2 0.3 0.4 0.5 0.6 0.7 up to 1.5 you can take, 15 readings you can take, enough. So in order to find out the cut-in voltage, you can go for up to 1.5 you can take. This many readings is enough while doing the forward bias characteristics of PN diode. So 1.2 1.3 1.4 1.5, clear. So this is the supply voltage readings. So what is the range you need to take? From 0 to 1.5 in terms of 0.1 variation you need to take. Okay, so first it is 0. First it is switch on the meters. If it is 0 0, you observe here meter readings, voltmeter reading is also 0, ammeter reading is also 0. So I am taking VF, forward voltage is also 0, and reverse voltage, forward current is also 0 here. Note it down. Then next, so which knob I need to use? Fine knob I need to use. Why? Because the variation is in terms of 0.1 here. The variation is in terms of 0.1. So that's why which knob I can prefer here? Middle one, fine knob I can use. So I am varying this one slowly. So it is 0.1, right? If it is 0.1, so what is the voltmeter reading? It is also changing, 0.1. Voltmeter forward voltage reading is 0.1 here. It is blinking, no problem. So 0.1 you can take, and current, what the value I am getting here? 0. Then next 0.2. Then 0.2 means here voltmeter reading is also 0.2. Supply voltage is 0.2. Voltmeter reading is also 0.2. Then what is the current value here? 0. IF. IF is 0. Then next 0.3. So if it is supply voltage is 0.3, this is also 0.3 volts we are having, and current is also 0 here. Then next 0.4. So 0.4 voltage, and voltmeter reading is also 0.4 here, and current is also 0 here. Then next 0.5. Yeah, for 0.5 voltmeter reading is also 0.5, current is also 0 here. 0.6. Now you can observe here 0.6. What is the voltmeter reading here? 0.5. It is not changing here, 0.5. And what is the current reading here? It starts increasing, 0.1, 0.1 or 0.2. Okay, so then 0.7. So for 0.7, what is the voltmeter reading here? 0.5. What is the current reading here? 0.2. Then next 0.8. So for 0.8, what is the voltmeter reading here? 0.5. And what is the current reading? 0.3. Same like up to you can go for 1.5. 0.9. For 0.9 is 0.5 here, and here 0.4. And here 1. For 1 it is 0.5, and here it is also 0.5. And 2, sorry, 1.1. For 1.1 it is 0.6. Voltmeter reading is 0.6, and here it is also 0.6. Next 1.2. For 1.2 it is also 0.6. It's bringing about the 0.5, 0.6. So 0.6, and current is also 0.6. Then next 1.3, 0.6, here 0.6, and here 0.8. then 1.4, 0.6 and 0.9, and next last reading is 1.5, 0.6, and here it is 0.9. Okay, so here these are the readings. That's what we are getting for PN diode, silicon diode characteristics, forward bias. So according to this, we need to draw the graph. Okay, while drawing the graph, you need not to take all the values here. 0.5 maximum value you can minimum value should take. Okay, why? Because if you take all the 0.5 and 0.6 values, you will get step waveform like this. So we should not concentrate on these values of 0.5. Only minimum value should take, nothing but 0.5, 0.1. Then next to range what we have, 0.6. Now you can observe after 0.5, 0.6, even if you vary up to 10 volts also, you will get only 0.6. This will not be changes. So from that we can understand that for silicon diode, what is the cut-in voltage we are having? 0.7 volts. The silicon diode cut-in voltage we already studied in the theory part. The cut-in voltage of silicon diode is 0.7, but in theoretical practically how much I am getting here? 0.6. Even if you go for up to 10 volts also, you will get 0.6 only here. So this observation need to do. For practical and theoretical, some 0.1 variation will be there. No need to worry. Practical, theoretically we are having 0.7, but practically how much I am getting here? 0.6 here. Right? While drawing the graph, you need not to concentrate on this 0.5 values. Why? Because you will get step kind of waveform. So ideal graph should be like this. So that's why in order to overcome this problem, you need to take 0.5 minimum value, and remaining 0.6 values you can take as it is here. Okay, then you will get the correct shape of the graph here. This is 0.6 and this is 0.5. Okay, so this is about the silicon diode forward bias characteristics. Yeah, coming back to the next one is next characteristics of silicon diode is nothing but reverse bias. Previously we discussed about the forward bias, that we already tabulated the readings here. You can observe here. Then coming to the reverse bias, while doing the reverse bias experiment, first you need to do the connection, circuit diagram connection here. So nothing is there here. In circuit diagram we are changing the diode position. We are changing the diode position, but not required here. So either you can change diode position, or either you can change supply position here. Supply positions also you can change, no issues. But in the circuit diagram we are changing the diode position here. The thing is, if you change the diode position, so you also need to change the meters polarities here. Okay, but he is not mentioning here. Not mentioning here. So if you change the diode position, what will happen? You need to change the meters polarities also, negative, positive, negative, positive. It is difficult for us in order to overcome this problem. So we are going to change the supply polarities directly. So negative, positive I am taking. Instead of changing the diode, I am changing the supply. Why? Because you are already aware of that. What is forward bias? If positive terminal of the battery is connected to the positive of the diode, negative terminal of the battery is connected to the negative of the diode, then we can say that that type of connection is called as forward bias of the diode. Then here, negative terminal is connected to the, positive here it is. So negative terminal is connected to diode. I am changing as it is. I am placing this diode as it is here. Only I am changing the meters polarities here. So negative is connected to the positive, and positive is connected to the negative. So that's why we are calling it as a reverse bias. Reverse bias. I am not changing diode. So same circuit diagram. Instead of this diagram, what I am doing, I am taking this meters polarities, I am changing. So negative is connected to the positive, positive is connected to the negative. Nothing you need to change. If you change diode, you need to change the meters here. So that's why I am changing the meters, regulated power supply polarities here. So what I am doing here, simply same connection. One thing you need to observe here. This is the first thing. Second thing, what you need to do means, in reverse bias, you need to take micrometer. Instead of millimeter, what you need to take? Micrometer you need to take. So that's why I am changing here millimeter with what? Micrometer. 0 to 200 micrometer I am taking. Right? So this is the small changes we are having. First change is you need to replace with millimeter with what? Micrometer. The next thing is what you need to do, just you need to change the meter polarities here. So I am changing the meter polarities here. So positive should be negative, and negative is connected with the positive here. Clear? So I am changing the meters polarities. Clear? So this much is enough. Then you can start your experiment. PN diode experiment, reverse bias. So in reverse bias, the supply voltage range is 1 to 15. You can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 15 readings you can take. Okay, backside you are having 15 readings, no problem. Here, what is the reading value here? 10. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, this many readings you need to take, 1 to 15. The range is how much? 1 to 15, supply voltage. So which knob I can use then? This time I can use coarse knob. Coarse knob I can use. Okay, in order to variation in 1, 2, 3 like that, big values, you can use the coarse knob, coarse and fine for adjustment. Okay, and if you observe, the graph should be in third quadrant. So the graph is in third quadrant, so you should must be get negative values here, negative of voltmeter, negative of milliammeter here. The second thing, for PN diode we don't have the breakdown condition here. Breakdown cannot be happen in the PN diode. So up to this part we can get here. In our lab, what you can understand means we won't get this breakdown region only from this area. This part we are getting in the diode concept, reverse bias. Okay, so this you need to observe here. So while doing the experiment, so variation is 1, so I can increase the voltage is 1 here. So 1, I am using 1. So for 1, what the voltmeter and ammeter reading I am having here, you can observe, you will get minus sign here. So I am also taking minus sign here in the tabular column, minus 1.0, right? Minus 1.0 I can take. And micrometer, this display is not, I think it is failed here. Actually you should get minus sign here. Okay, so another micrometer if you take, you will get the minus sign also, no issues. Both will get negative polarities here. So minus 1, here also the minus 1 micrometer. The next reading 2 here. If you take 2, so what the voltmeter reading you are getting here? Minus 2.1. And what the current micrometer reading you are getting? Minus 2. And 3, for 3 exactly you can adjust by using coarse and fine knobs here. So 3 I can adjust in. So minus 3.1 you are getting for voltmeter, and 3 you will get for micrometer. So minus 3.1, sorry, and here minus 3. And you can go for 4. No, for 4 you will get minus 4.1, and here 4. So like same, you can vary up to 15 volts, you will get the same readings. Same. I am not going to take all the values here. Same values you will get 6.16. Even if you have any doubt, I am going to show you also, no problem, no issues here. So 8.1, 8.0, 9.1, 9.0, 10 point, minus 10.1, 10.0, and backside also same, minus 11.1. If you want take, you can take minus 11, minus 12.1, minus 12, minus 13.1, minus 13, minus 14.1, minus 14, and minus 15.1, minus 15. Okay, so I am varying here, you can observe here directly. I am going for 15 here, last value. Yeah, 15. If you observe the 15, what the value you are getting here? 15 you can take. Yeah. If you take 15, what the value you are getting here? Minus 15.1, and micrometer reading little bit is less here, 14, minus 14.8 something. Okay, so no problem. So whatever the readings you are having, that you can take as it is here. So what you will get? So linearly you will get the values of voltage and current here. Means this part you will get. And reverse bias characteristics, what you will get? You won't get any breakdown region in the PN diode here. So linear combination of both voltmeter and ammeter you will get, micrometer. Okay, so up to this part only you will get. So breakdown cannot be happen in the PN diode. Okay, so this is the total story of how to perform the experiment of PN diode, both forward bias and reverse bias. The next topic is nothing but calculation of static and dynamic resistance here. Calculation of static and dynamic resistance. Another name for static resistance we can also call it as a DC resistance. Another name for dynamic is nothing but AC resistance, means changing with. So DC means only one value you can take after the cut-in voltage, VF by IF. So when you need to take after the cut-in voltage, you need to take. And static resistance for reverse bias also, we are having only one voltage reading, one current reading in the reverse bias table here. So we don't have any breakdown region here, so any one value you can take here. Okay, So static resistance in forward bias I am taking after the cut-in voltage means nothing but 0.6 you can take. Here the cut-in voltage is 0.6. So 0.6 and 0.6 you can take here. So 0.6, 0.6 both I am taking. This point I am taking 0.6 and 0.6. One voltage, one current reading I am taking. Okay. So this point I am taking. So 0.6 volts by 0.6 milliamps. Milli also you can consider here. So milli means 10 power of minus 3 amps. Okay. What you will get? 1. So 1 by 10 to the power of minus 3 means you will get 1 kilo ohms. 1000 you are getting or not? It is minus 3. If it is goes into positive side, if it goes to the numerator, what will get? Minus 3 becomes will get plus 3. So what will get? 1 kilo ohm resistor will get 1 kilo ohm resistor. So static resistance how much will get? 1 kilo ohm. So it the maximum range of static resistance will get 1 kilo ohm or 1.5 kilo ohm you will get. Okay. So this is the calculation about the static resistance. For static resistance only one reading you need to take. Okay, that too after cut-in voltage. Reverse resistance you can take any one. Why? Because we don't have any breakdown region here. So any 1 volt VR, any one IR you can take. Here also the same story here. So any one value means 12 I am taking here. So 12 by 12 I am taking. So here I am taking 12 minus 12 by minus 12 you are having. But it is in microamps. So that 10 to the power of minus 6 you are having. So 12 ones are here. So 10 power of minus 6 if it is going upside, what will get? 1 mega ohm. 1 mega ohm. So we already studied that in forward bias the PN diode resistance, junction resistance is very less, that is 1 kilo ohm. In reverse bias PN diode junction resistance will be varies, right or not? So that's why you will get in mega ohms. So mega ohms resistance will get in the reverse bias. So kilo ohms will get in the forward bias. This topic you are already aware of in the theory part in the PN junction diode resistance. Okay. The next one, dynamic resistance. Dynamic is nothing but AC. AC means change in voltage with respect to change in current. Change in voltage with respect to change in current. So what the change you need to take? So before cut-in voltage, after cut-in voltage you need to take. So before cut-in voltage I am taking 0.4, one value I am taking 0.4. After cut-in voltage what I am taking? 0.6. So this change in voltage I am taking. So nothing but 0.6 minus 0.4. Voltage how much I am taking? 0.6 minus 0.4. And what the current changing I am having? 0.6 minus 0. 0.6 minus 0 into 10 to the power of minus 3 again. Why? Because we are having milliamps. So this calculation also can do. It is also will get within the kilo ohms range will get. And change in the same dynamic resistance also same in the reverse bias characteristics. So any two values you can take. 11, 12 you can take here. So minus 12 minus 11 here by 12 minus 11 into 10 to the power of minus 6 you are having here. Okay, 10 to the power of minus 6. So it is also will get in the mega ohms. If you do the calculation, you will also get in the mega ohms. So static resistance will get in the kilo ohms. Static means dynamic resistance will get in the kilo ohms in forward condition. In reverse condition also will get mega ohms. Okay. So this calculation you can do in the calculator. You will get the correct idea. Okay. So this is the total story about this PN diode, forward bias and reverse bias characteristics. The same procedure you can follow for Zener diode also. Same procedure you can follow for Zener diode also. So the thing is Zener diode, if you observe, so the polarities, the main thing is here the polarities you can concentrate. So wherever the negative coating side is there, that is negative side. Black coating, if you have any, the black coating you can observe in the Zener diode. Zener diode is in basically in red color availabilities. So black coating side is the negative here and other side is the positive here. Black coating side is the negative, other side is the positive. This is the polarity is important while doing the connection. The next thing in PN diode, if you observe, Zener diode, we'll have the one more variation is that in both forward bias and reverse bias we are using ammeter only. We are not going to use the micrometer here. In both forward bias and reverse bias we are going to use the milliammeter, not micrometer. So this is one big advantage here. So for Zener diode, for both forward bias and reverse bias, we are going to use millimeter. So we need not to change the micrometer. While in the case of PN diode, we are changing with millimeter. We are replacing millimeter with micrometer here. But in the case of Zener diode, need not to replace millimeter. Same millimeter can be used for both forward bias as well as reverse bias. One more change what we have means in Zener diode, we will have the breakdown condition. We will get the breakdown condition. In PN diode, you don't have this breakdown condition. Nothing but is here this one. This part you won't get in the PN diode, but in the case of Zener diode, you will get this condition. You will get this condition. So the variation is also same, 1 to 15. The how to variation in the supply voltage, how we are going to take the readings means same the procedure what we followed for PN diode junction, same procedure you can follow for Zener diode also, same variation also you can take, right? So here we will have the breakdown condition. Okay, so basically we are having the laboratory 0.5 volts breakdown value we are having. So after 0.5 we will get the breakdown condition, voltage will be constant and current will be starts increasing. Okay, so dynamic resistance, while doing the dynamic resistance calculation in the reverse bias, before breakdown you need to take, after breakdown you need to take. So in the case of Zener diode we don't have that facility, so directly two values we have taken. But in the in the case of Zener diode, while calculation of dynamic resistance, you can take this change in voltage with respect to current, and means before breakdown voltage, after breakdown voltage you need to take. So this is the small thing in the Zener diode, small changes that what we are having when we are comparing with both PN diode and Zener diode. The procedure is totally same, so need not to have any confusion, forward bias as well as reverse bias. And forward bias also same, what the procedure we are following in the PN diode, same procedure, cut-in voltage also will get 0.7 here. So for PN diode we are having 0.6 cut-in voltage, but in the case of Zener diode we'll have 0.7 cut-in voltage. Directly we'll get, so no need to have any doubt in this. So after 0.7 voltage you will get the current will be very sharply here if you observe. Then reverse bias, only you need to concentrate on the reverse bias. So the change will be happens only in the reverse bias. So there in the case of PN diode we don't have any breakdown condition, but in the case of Zener diode we will have the breakdown condition. After 0.5 volts, after 5 volts, minus 5 volts we will get the breakdown, means 5 volts is constant but current is starts increasing here. Only this change will be happen in the Zener diode here. Okay, so this is the total concept of laboratory, means how to perform the lab experiment of PN diode as well as Zener diode. Thank you all.